It all began in a small, lively town where Utch and Ada lived a simple yet peaceful life. Utch was a skilled tailor, known for his hard-working nature, while Ada was the perfect example of a supportive wife, always standing by her husband's side. Their love for each other was undeniable, and despite their humble lifestyle, they were content. Utch earned just enough to put food on the table, and though life was hard, they never lacked joy. Everything changed the day Ada received news of her father's death, a man she had not seen in years. He was wealthy, known throughout the region, but Ada had been disconnected from him since childhood. Now, suddenly, a large inheritance had been left for her, thrusting her into a world of unimaginable riches. In an instant, their once simple life was transformed, as Ada became the sole owner of her father's vast estates, properties, and fortune. At first, Utch and Ada celebrated their new fortune together. Utch, ever the humble man, remained grounded, encouraging his wife to use the wealth wisely. But the wealth brought something more than just money. It brought Ada into the company of women she had never associated with before. These were the rich girls, a clique of powerful, elite women, all accustomed to luxury, privilege, and excess. The rich girls welcomed Ada with open arms, but their influence came with a dangerous edge. They began planting seeds in her mind, questioning her marriage to Utch, who, in their eyes, was now beneath her. They whispered in her ear, "How can someone like you be married to a poor tailor? He should be your servant, not your equal." At first, Ada brushed it off, but the whispers grew louder. As the days passed, the wealth began to change her. She started treating Utch differently, criticizing him for not being ambitious enough, for not living up to her new status. Slowly, she began to see her husband as less of a partner and more of a burden. The rich girls pushed her even further, convincing her to make Utch her servant, someone who should cater to her every whim because, after all, she was rich and he was poor. Utch, heartbroken by his wife's sudden change, tried to remind her of their love and the life they had built together, but Ada's heart had grown cold. She forced him to quit his tailoring business, making him do menial tasks around their lavish home, humiliating him at every turn. But there is something about wealth, it never lasts forever. As Ada's arrogance grew, she became reckless with her money, indulging in excessive luxuries and spending carelessly. The rich girls, never truly her friends, began to distance themselves once her wealth started to dwindle. In time, the inheritance was spent, and the riches that once made Ada feel powerful vanished. It was then that she realized the depth of her mistake. She had pushed away the one person who truly cared for her, treating Utch, the man who once loved her deeply, as nothing more than a servant. As the final pieces of her inheritance slipped through her fingers, Ada was left with nothing but the echoes of her foolish decisions. And by then, Utch had grown distant, weary from the pain she had caused him. Though they still lived in the same house, the warmth and love that once defined their relationship had long disappeared. Ada learned, far too late, that true wealth lies not in money or possessions, but in the relationships we build. And while riches can come and go, respect, love, and humility are priceless treasures that once lost are hard to regain. The moral lesson of this story, that riches may elevate a person in the eyes of society, but if they lose sight of their values, they risk losing everything, including the ones they love most.